Hello friends, I welcome you all for the session 5 of unit 5, that is memories and programmable devices of the subject digital electronics for the third semester. My name is Ishwar Kumar Nirale, working as lecturer in electronics and communication department, Government Polytechnic Mudor. In the previous session, that is in the session 4, we have introduced the concept of RAM, and we have also discussed the different types of RAMs or variations of the RAMs, that are SRAM and DRAM. We also discussed their construction as well as their working principle. Today in this session we would be discussing the DDR memory and its variants, the optical storage, and later on we will discuss some multiple choice questions. First, let us understand what is SDRAM. So, as we know that DRAM is nothing but it is a dynamic random access memory which needs a periodic refreshing operation to hold the content in it. The DRAM, whose operation is directly synchronized with the clock signal or CPU clock signal, is known as synchronous DRAM, or simply it is known as SDRAM. The figure which I have shown in the slide here, it is an DDR version of DDR SDRAM. So here the basic difference between SDRAM and DDR RAM is uh, the standard SDRAM, the standard synchronous dynamic random access memory. It performs the operation on the rising edge of the clock signal. You can see here, this is the clock signal which I have shown here. The one which I have shown in the blue color, it is nothing but this is an operation regarding SDRAM, and the one which I have shown in the red color, it is the operation of DDR SDRAM. As you can see here, the SDRAM, it performs its access operation only during the rising edge. So these are the rising edge of the clock signals. So during the rising edge of the clock signal only it performs the data transfer operation. Whereas the on the other hand, some faster SDRAM, they transfer the data on the both edges of the clock signal. As you can see in the DDR SDRAM, it not only transfers the data on the rising edge of the clock signal, but it also transfers the data on falling edge as well. So during both rising edge as well as falling edge, so it is going to do the data transfer operation. That's how the latency will remain same for both SDRAM and as well as the DDR SDRAM. However, the transfer of data is done on the both edges of the clock signal, thereby increasing the bandwidth. Bandwidth will be exactly doubled. So such a variation or such a faster SDRAM is known as double data rate SDRAM. So you can see here, during the positive edge also it is going to do in data transfer operation, and during the negative edge also it is going to do in data transfer operation. That's how it is going to double the bandwidth, keeping the latency same. What are the features of DDR memory or double data rate memory? So it achieves the greater bandwidth. As we know that the as we see here, the bandwidth is exactly doubled since the data transfer is done during the both edges of the clock signal. So that's why I can say it achieves the greater bandwidth. The double second feature is it doubles the transfer rate without increasing the frequency of clock signal. So here we have not increased the frequency of the clock signal. The clock signal frequency is same here, but only the thing is it is transferring the data on the both edges. That's why it increases the bandwidth without increasing the frequency of the clock signal. So nowadays in the market there are different variants of DDR memories are available. Those are DDR1, or simply it can be referred as DDR, or DDR2, DDR3 and DDR4. ಆಸ್ ನೀವು ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಈಗ ಸದ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ನೋಡೋದಾದ್ರೆ DDR3 ಮತ್ತು DDR4, ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ದಿ ಟ್ರೆಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಒನ್ಸ್. ಸೊ DDR1 and DDR2, these were available in the older CPUs. In most of the cases nowadays these are completely outdated one. You can say these are completely outdated one, and these are replaced with DDR3 and DDR4. We can do a comparison list here. There is a comparison list that is provided here. One can easily see with SDRAM with SDRAM, the transfer rate, the data transfer rate will be 0.8 GB per second to 1.3 GB per second, and it consumes an voltage of 3.3 volt. And with DDR1 version, so it is going to transfer the data at a speed of 2.1 GB gigabytes per second to 3.2 gigabytes per second, and it consumes a lesser voltage than the SDRAM, that is around 2.5 to 2.6 volt. And next version is DDR2. So this DDR2 is still transferring the data at faster rate compared to DDR1, that is 4.2 to 6.4 GB per second, and it consumes lesser voltage than the DDR1, that is DDR1 in the kadime voltage consume ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, that is 1.8 volt. Next version is DDR3. The DDR3, it transfers the data at a rate of 8.5 GB to 14.9 GB per second, and it consumes an voltage, or it consumes a power of 1.35 to 1.5 volt. And next, and the last version, that is the latest version, is DDR4. So which transfers the data at highest rate, that is data at highest rate, that is 117 GB per second to 21.3 GB per second, and it consumes an voltage of 1.2 volt. So as we move from one generation to another generation here, the speed, the transfer rate is increased. The transfer rate, you can see, it is getting increased. At the same time, the voltage consumption is getting decreased. So now in the market, the DDR3 and DDR4 versions are the latest versions that are available, and the SDRAM, DDR1 and DDR2, these are now outdated one. So this is about the DDR memory. The next is optical storage. An optical disk is an electronic data storage medium that can be written into and read from using a low power laser beam. So basically, so these optical storage, they use the laser technology to read the data from, as well as to write the data into them. Usually when you see the construction, it is made up of 3 layers or 3 coatings. The base is nothing but, the base or the bottom layer will be usually made up of a polycarbonate plastic. Baseline or base layer is made up of a polycarbonate plastic or glass, which is at the bottom, and a thin aluminum sheet layer is formed over it. A thin aluminum layer is formed over it, so which will provide the reflectivity. This reflectivity property is used while reading the data from it. So to have the reflectivity property, a thin aluminum sheet is placed over the base, which is made up of plastic or glass. On this layer, a lacquer, or you can say color, an organic dye is coated here. On this layer, an organic dye is coated here, so which is for the protection from the dust, as well as to avoid it from getting rusted. So a lacquer layer is or a lacquer is pasted, or you can say it is coated on the top layer. This is the construction of optical storage. Let us see how the data can be stored and how the data can be retrieved from. So this is the mechanism. You can see a laser beam generator here and a lens system that is used to focus on a particular area. And this is a lens is nothing but it is like a waveguide. So this is going to guide the laser beam into a proper direction. And a mirror is used here, and a photodiode assembly is also here. A mirror that is used to provide the reflectivity, and to make them focus on the lens system, which are further fed as input to the photodiode. This photodiode is responsible for reading the data that is stored on the optical medium, and this is what is the optical medium here. So the data is pre-recorded at the factory nalle pre-record ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ in the form of small grooves. The small grooves you can observe here, there are some small grooves are made here. These small grooves are called as bits, and the flat area. This is the flat area. This flat area is referred as no pit, or sometimes it is also referred as land. The information is stored in the form of pit and no pit, or you can say the information is stored in the form of pit and land, pits and lands. And the data, as you can see here, the optical disc is in a circular fashion. The data is stored in the form of circular tracks. So as in the form of as we have seen in the uh, hard disk, as the data is arranged in the form of circular tracks, here also in the optical storage medium also the data is arranged in the form of circular tracks. So here the data is pre-recorded at the factory using low intensity laser beam. Now how to read the data? As we can see, the same laser, since it uses the laser beam technology, the laser beam itself is used to read the data from the optical disc. Here there is a difference between the light reflected from the pit region and no pit region or land region. As we can see here, whenever the let's say this is the uh, no pit region and this is the pit region, again pit region, no pit region. So these are the pits and these are the lands. So whenever the light is laser light is made to fall on this no pit region or land region, and if it is collected, if the reflected light is collected at the photodiode, in the same manner, whenever the light is or laser beam is made to fall on the pit region and its reflected light is collected at the photodiode, there is a difference here. So since here, as you can see here, the reflected light from the pit region, it has to cover an extra distance of lambda by 4. That's why I can say the reflected light from the pit region, no pit region, and the reflected light from the pit region, there is a phase difference of 180 degree. So this phase difference itself is identified by the photodiode. That's how it detects whether it is a logic 1 or logic 0. So whenever it wants to store a logic 1, it is going to form a pit or groove on the optical disc. So this indicates a logic 1 and this indicates a logic 0. There is a difference in the reflected light from the pit region and no pit region here, because as the light has to travel, laser beam light has to travel an extra distance of lambda by 4. So that's why the reflected light will be 180 degree out of phase if you compare with the reflected light that is from the no pit region or land region. This is identified by the photodiode. As you can see here, this is the photodiode which will identify the phase shift between the two reflected lights. That's how it detects, the photodiode detects the information stored on the circular track as 1 or 0. So whenever there is an 180 degree phase shift is there from the reflected light, that indicates that it is a logic 1. Otherwise it it reads the value as logic 0. This is how the data is read from the optical disc. There are different variations of the optical discs that are available in the market. The first one is nothing but worm, that is write once and read many times, read many times. So write once and read many times is a type of optical storage that can be written into one time, and after that the data cannot be erased, but it can be read many times. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರ, so this is the this is the version of optical disc where the data can be written only once a time. ಒಂದ್ಸಲ ಮಾತ್ರ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಡೇಟಾ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಒಂದ್ಸಲ ಡೇಟಾ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ನಾವು ಎಷ್ಟು ಸಲ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಅದನ್ನ ರೀಡ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. The next version is CDR, that is CD recordable. So here this is also a version of worm only, that is here also we can write once and read many times. But the basic difference between worm and CD recordable is, so here it allows the multiple write session in the sense, let's say if your CD is of 700 MB, in worm, in case of worm, if only 400 MB space is written and 300 MB space is left out means, so that will be wasted. That cannot be utilized again. But in case of CD recordable, if 300 MB space is left means, so since it allows multiple sessions to do the write operation, we can again put the CD into CD drive and again we can utilize the rest 300 MB space. ಸೊ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಮಲ್ಟಿಪಲ್ ಸೆಷನ್ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಉಳಿದಿರೋ ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ಮತ್ತೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ರೈಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಆದ್ರೆ ರೈಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಒಂದ್ಸಲ 700 MB ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಫುಲ್ ಆಯ್ತಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸೊ ಮುಗೀತು, ಮತ್ತೆ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬರಂಗಿಲ್ಲ, ರೈಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬರಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ರೀಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಮೆನಿ ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಬೋತ್ ಕೇಸಸ್. ಎರಡು ಕೇಸಸ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಎಷ್ಟು ಸಲ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಅದನ್ನ ರೀಡ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. Here, the logic 1 and logic 0 are represented on the CDR by burned and non-burned areas. Like CD-ROM, data can't be erased once it is written. So here in the both the cases, once the data is written means it cannot be erased. But in the both the cases, we can read the data as many as the number of times that we wish. Next variation is the CD rewritable. So as the name itself indicates, CD rewritable means here the data can be erased as well. Not only we can write, we can erase the data as well. So in this the data can be recorded, erased and rewritten and read many times, as many as number of times we wish. So here how the erasing is done. So basically the type of construction, the type of material that is used to construct here is somewhat different. We use a crystalline compound. So this crystalline compound has got a special property. What is the special property? So whenever it is heated at a certain temperature, it melts and it becomes amorphous. So whenever it becomes amorphous, as it is cooled down, so whatever the pits and lands that are formed there, so entire will be the region will be melted, and whenever it is cooled again, it will be again back to the normal shape. So which is nothing but which is going to erase the entire data that is stored on the CD in the form of circular track. So all data will be erased and it is ready for the write operation again. This is how the erase operation is done. So this erasing provision is provided as it is made up of a special type of compound, that is crystalline compound, so which will offer you a special property of erasing. Next one is DVD, that is nothing but digital versatile disk. So DVD stands for digital versatile disk. Here the medium can store the digital data as that is used for software and other computer files as well, and as well as video programs. You can store application software, you can store system software, we can store video files, we can store audio files, we can store any kind of digital data on the DVD, and that too on both sides. Means on the top layer as well as on the bottom layer. That's why the capacity will be more than the other variations that we have discussed so far. So it offers you a greater capacity, the density will be more, and here the size of the bits will be smaller so that it can accommodate more number of bits in the same dimension as we seen in the CD versions. So in DVD also the size won't be changed, size won't be big, it will be same only, but the thing is the size of the bit will be smaller. That's why the density is going to increase, as well as the data can be stored both on the top surface as well as on the bottom surface. That's why the capacity is more compared to that of the CD versions. Typically in the market, when you go in the market and when you want to purchase DVD, they are available with the size of 4.7 GB. Nowadays you can get an DVD around 8 GB or more than that, it depends. So whether it stores the data only on the top layer or as well as on the bottom layer. Now we will discuss some multiple choice questions. The first one is the SDRAM. It stands for option A synchronous DRAM, option B synthetic DRAM, option C slow DRAM, and option D, none of the above. Obviously, the answer is synchronous DRAM. So, as the name itself indicates, whenever the DRAM operation is synchronized with the CPU clock signal, it is referred as SDRAM, that is synchronous D dynamic random access memory. The second question, the DDR SDRAMs performs faster data transfer by the option A, integrating the hardware, option B, improving the clock signal, option C, increasing the bandwidth, option C, transferring on both edges. As we know that DDR stands for double data rate, which means that it is able to transfer the data both on the positive edge and the negative edge of the clock signal, CPU clock signal. So that's why it performs the faster data rate, faster data transfer. So the answer would be the fourth one, that is transferring on both edges. The third question is, the SDRAM performs operation on the, as we discussed in the previous question, the SDRAM is going to perform its data transfer operation both on the rising edge as well as on the falling edge of the CPU clock signal. So here the first option is rising, only on the rising edge, second on the falling edge, third one middle of the uh, clock signal, and fourth one none of the above. But that is about the DDRAM. The SDRAM, it performs operation only during the positive edge, or you can say rising edge of the clock signal, whereas the DDR SDRAM, it performs the operation both on the rising edge as well as on the falling edge. The fourth one, the technology that is used in optical discs is option A, reflective, option B, refractive, option B, diffraction, and option D is laser. So as we use the laser beam, low intensity laser beam for write operation as well as for the read operation, and a high intensity laser beam is used for erasing operation. So the technology that is used here is laser. Question number 5. Which of the following is not a type of optical disc? Option A, CD, option B, DVD, and option C, worm, and option D, Winchester. As we seen that the CD, DVD, and worm, as well as the Blu-ray disc, these all are the optical discs. The Winchester is not a kind of optical disc, so answer would be Winchester. A dash dash disc consists of circular disc which is coated with thin metal or some other material that is highly reflective. So this is about the construction of the optical disc. So here the answers are: first one optical, second one magnetic, third one compact, and fourth one none of the above. The answer would be optical disc. The optical disc, as we can say in construction, it is made up of three layers. The base will be made up of a plastic layer. On that, a thin metal, aluminum metal or some other material which is highly reflective in nature is coated on it. On the top of it, lacquer is coated. This is regarding construction of optical disc. Question number 7. Which of the following can be recorded only once? The first option is CD rewritable, second one DVD rewritable, third one CD recordable, fourth one Blu-ray disc. The answer would be the C, CD recordable. So here the data can be written onto it only once, but it can be read as many as the number of times the user wish means. Question number 8. Which have the largest storage capacity from optical media group? Option A, CD, option B, Blu-ray disc, option C, DVD, and option D, none of the above. So if you do a comparison here between CD and DVD, DVD will offer you a higher storage capacity. But if you compare DVD with Blu-ray disc is going to offer you some more higher capacity, or the density will be more here. So that's why the answer would be Blu-ray disc. So with this, I'm going to conclude my part, that is the last session. I thank you, Uma Maheshwar sir, who is moderator of this course, and Lalita madam, who is subject expert, and myself, Ishwar Kumar Nerade, and Sriti ji, who is my colleague. Thank you.